Hello, hello. This is Dr. Anastasia Chopelas, the scientific healer, and today I am going to be talking about step 12 to boosting your immune system. And that is all about the ways you can ground and center yourself. And so some people get those terms mixed up. Right? They get them mixed up. They think it is two different things or the same thing, and they're not. Some people think that grounding is centering and vice versa. So thank you so much for being here. So the problem with, let's just talk about centering for the moment. Like what do I mean by that? So in the current climate, a lot of people are giving up hope. Even I read in the newspaper, it's probably too late to rescue the US from the virus and all of that. And we read about personal tragedies and we read about, police brutality, something that's been going on for a long time. Racial inequality, something, there's even gender inequality. And people are getting riled up really, really quickly. And it takes us basically out of our body. And so centeredness is really looking at, it's an emotional state of mind. Are you observing things from the inside out or the outside in? So what I mean by that is that when you're viewing things from the outside in, this is where as fear and panic especially happen. It's also where anger and jealousy and shame and guilt happen. Something happens outside yourself and you react to it in that way. Somebody cuts you off and then you get upset on the highway, and then you get upset because you're afraid you could have gotten in an accident. That is one way of it taking you off center. And it's okay to react that way. The question is, how long do you stay in that kind of condition? The being centeredness is the centeredness of you is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself and your body. So the way it looks energetically is that we have this being that's us, that's our spirit. And when we're not happy, like our body is miserable, you're hurting somewhere, you got hurt, you were in an accident, your spirit will just slip up out of your body because it doesn't want to be experiencing that. So I'm just doing a little simple story to show you how this affects you, because the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So let's say you're packing for a trip and you dawdled a little too long, so now you're a little late, and you opened your suitcase up and you're just throwing things in there. Oh yeah, the underwear, and now the pants, and now the shirts, and now the socks, and now the shoes, and oops, you forgot something, right? And you zip it up and you jump in the taxi or the Uber and you get yourself to the airport, or and you're halfway to the airport and you realize you forgot something really important, right? And at that moment, that's when the panic starts to set in. Like, what do I do about that? How do I take care of it? So now, instead of being on the trip and focused on getting to your destination, right, your thoughts are somewhere else and you're unhappy about it, right? And, all of us will do it. For me, it'll be a momentary, I can figure this out. We'll solve this. I mean, my ex-husband sometimes would show up to the airport without his passport. And so you just go, well, I just have to figure this out, right? And so there are lots of things, like instead of sitting there and grinding about it, you just figure it out. And so the other questions you can ask yourself is, when you have an argument with somebody, or you're unhappy with somebody, or they're unhappy with you, how long do you sit there and worry about it, or get anxious about it, or have a panic attack about it? Oh, they don't like me. Oh, they're upset with me. Those kinds of things. That's off-centeredness, and that's an unhappy place to be. And the more that you're in that panic state, the more that your nervous system is on fire, the lower your resistance gets to other things coming in, right? Because you don't have your mind on the task at hand. Your mind is somewhere else. I mean, I got into a car accident because my mind was somewhere else. And so all of those things that I mentioned can really pull you off center. And there is a really easy way to counteract this. So that off-centeredness, what it looks like energetically, like when I look at people, it looks like our physical bodies are here, right? You'll see it, and then I'll see their energy bodies like pulled up, and I'll see them like up over their head, right? And there are some symptoms to that if you are continually, chronically out of center, there are many symptoms that you'll experience: leg pain, hip pain, lower back pain, sexual dysfunction, colon or large intestine dysfunction, diverticulitis, IBS, those kinds of things. You'll also experience bladder problems and maybe back up into your kidneys, and feet problems, leg problems, all kinds of things in the lower half of the body. And that's because the spirit is not there energizing it. As soon as I bring people down, and it's actually a very easy thing for me to do, as soon as I bring people down into their body, and I'll explain you can do it yourself really quickly. But as soon as I do it, they go, everything feels right now, because that's the way we're supposed to be, is in the body, right? And other symptoms might be, if you've ever seen somebody who has autism or Asperger's or ADD, that's because their mind is going everywhere else. It's kind of like the little dog in Up, squirrel, squirrel, right? They're like constantly moving off of the subject, and it's really hard to get them to focus. So getting these, especially children, back down in their body, I notice a really huge improvement on the symptoms, these symptoms. So some of the autistic children have lower back problems, digestive problems, they walk stiffly, they're monosyllabic, they don't like their head touched because there's too much energy up here, things like that. So getting them back down in their body is really, really helpful. And this is helpful for you too, right? You can do it mentally. Like a long time ago when I was I was in kind of like a panic state because there were a lot of bad things happening at the moment in my life. I would ask myself, every time I started to feel this panic start to rise, in other words, I was pulling myself up out of my body, I would say, am I okay right now at this moment? In other words, am I alive? Is there a roof over my head? Do I have, I might have not had any money in the bank. I was always down to zero at that point. But, am I okay? And are my children okay? And when that answer was yes, then I would just bring myself back down in my body and calm down. But you can do it a lot faster without all that mental stuff going on, because I'm a thinker, right? So you can do it a lot easier. So let's just do that right now. You can pull your shoulders back, straighten your spine up, and as you straighten your spine up, you can even smile a little bit. And now we're going to do some breathing. And this is very deep breathing all the way down, pretending like you're breathing all the way down into your feet. And as you breathe in, you can put your left hand, your left thumb in your belly button, and you can feel that lower part of your body rise first. And you can fill yourself up with air from the bottom up, right? And we're going to do some counting now. So exhale, and now breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold it for 2, 3. And now breathe out from the top down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now hold it for 3. And as you're doing this deep breathing, you only need to do it 3 or 4 times. As you're doing this deep breathing, you are imagining that breath that's coming in, breath as light, and it's going all the way down into your fingers and toes. That is a really fast way to center. Every time you start to get into a panic, you just sit there, close your eyes for a second, straighten up, and I always feel way better after 2 or 3 breaths like that. Okay, so that is a really quick way to do it. Another way is, if you have 5 or 10 minutes, is that I have this audio at scientifichealer.com/emotion, right? At that point, you are able to download a powerful healing audio. It is really good for listening to as you're falling asleep. And when you do that, it does all of the energy hygiene for you. And towards the end, it really brings you back down in your body. And then the third way I'm going to show you or talk to you about is something that is in pranic healing. It is called super brain yoga. Yes, there is such a thing as super brain yoga. Type super brain yoga into Google, and this will pop up. So the whole purpose of it is for you to balance from left to and right, so your body is balanced on both sides. In other words, you're filling up your body all the way, side to side. And then the other 2 steps are designed for you to bring yourself into your body top to bottom and front to back. So the side to side thing is you put your left ear on your right earlobe, and then you cross your right hand over your left and put your thumbs on top of your earlobes like this. And then and you have to do this standing up, sorry to say. There's another way to do it sitting down, but we do this standing up. This is a little less convenient, but it also provides a way for you to ground. And I'll explain grounding in just a moment. And then what you do is you do knee bends. You're standing up like this. You're standing up, right? And you do knee bends. Got my shorts on today, right? You just do knee bends, simple like this. Right? So you do the knee bends, and what the knee bends do is that you do it 7 times or 14 times, is that as you do a knee bend, your knees come forward and your rear end goes out a little bit. So that's back to front. And then because you're coming up and down, right? You're going up and down. You're also balancing from top to bottom. And that can center you 7 times or 14 times, multiples of 7. So that's all there is about centering. There's many more ways to do it. Usually at night when you're dreaming or asleep or falling asleep and you're thinking about everything that's going on in your life and you're having trouble sleeping, you're off center, right? So what I do is I ground myself at that point and I get centered. So the grounding part is the secondary part. So centering is a way to keep you from getting overtaken by these emotions, right? The panic. The grounding part is helping release them once you've collected them, right? And one way, so you can imagine that grounding is a lot like, your electric system in your house grounded into the earth. That's exactly what we're doing. One way to do it is to take your shoes off. And this is really easy to imagine. Take your shoes off, go stand on some grass somewhere, and just imagine the entire nervous system in your body draining of all its excess energy all the way down into the earth and letting it go. So anywhere there's nature, you can stand in water at a lake or in an ocean. You can stand on grass. You can stand on sand. Barefooted is better, but you can use flat shoes, high-heeled shoes. Throws you a little off. So that's a really easy way to do it. Nature is very healing, it's very balancing, and it helps you release that excess energy down into the earth. So anything that makes you nervous or panic or angry or upset or even feel guilty or ashamed, that's excess energy. That's stuff that's happening around you that you react to, right? And the reason why you react to it is it's a signal to your body that you need to take action, right? And if you are filled with those emotions, it's really difficult to take action, right? And the more you live in that low energy place, that low energy off-centeredness, ungrounded place, the more sick you get. I got very sick just from being in that situation, right? So the groundedness, a really simple way to get grounded is just to plant your both feet on the floor while you're sitting up with a straight back. And now you imagine a line of energy going down the back of your spine and deep into the earth. Okay, so that's the first step. The second step is imagine that your adrenal glands are connected to your nerves. This is where the adrenal glands are reacting a lot. They're connected to your nervous system. You can plug your sciatica into the adrenals and connect the adrenal glands, which are 1 inch above your waist, 2 inches from your spine on your back. They're just slightly above your waist. Your kidneys are at your waist, right? Your kidneys are like that, and the adrenals are like that, right on top of them. And you imagine them connected to that grounding cord that goes all the way into the earth. And so this is another visualization. Visualizations are extremely powerful, right? You just imagine that your entire nervous system, right? This is everything from head to toe, all the nerves, your brain, all the nerves coming off your spine. You've seen pictures. It looks like a network of nerves going all the way through your body. So starting from the top, you are just releasing that excess energy and you're letting it drain, kind of like you have a bucket with a little hole at the bottom and the bucket is draining out slowly, right? You're just letting all that excess energy go down your grounding cord. This allows you, and putting your feet on the flat on the floor gives them a secondary place, because the bottom of your feet you have also an energetic opening where you can let everything just go down your grounding cord. And as you release everything down your grounding cord, you imagine your entire nervous system being a beautiful calm blue. Maybe that's why I wore a blue shirt today, but it's a beautiful calm blue. And as it's this calm blue, you'll feel your entire nervous system calming down. So this particular visualization is extremely powerful. And both these processes are a powerful tool against all of the outside noise, all of the stuff that's happening around you, where you can get into the moment. So when I gave you the example of packing the suitcase because you started to get a little late, right? So when I pack, now, not used to, but now when I pack, I do everything intentionally. I focus on exactly what I'm putting in. Okay, now I'm putting in the underwear. Now I'm putting in the shorts. Now I'm putting in the long pants. I count how many for how long I'm going to be. So and then I make sure that I have all the proper documents, right? And so I make sure that they're all there. That is being mindful and centered, right? So you're centered in your body. You are doing the task at the moment that you are doing. There are some stories of monks that, get asked, what's going on with Americans? Well, Americans, when they're getting up to go to the kitchen, they're already in the kitchen thinking, instead of going to the kitchen, they're already in the kitchen thinking about their next step. And when they're doing that, they're thinking about the next step instead of doing the task that's on hand at the moment. When you're doing the task that's on hand at the moment, you stay centered. And when you stay centered, your body is being fed properly from head to toe energetically. So I hope that I made that really, really clear. So that's all for today. Please share this video with your friends and give it a thumbs up or a 5-star rating if you found it helpful, and be sure to subscribe to my channel. So I'll see you next time. I've got another energy healing tip to help you bring in. So today we were releasing the bad energy, and we will help bring in that healing energy into your body from head to toe, and how do you protect yourself. So that's on for next time. Hi, Sandra. I love seeing everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming. See you next time.